Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Friday Morning Magic. We are starting a little bit late this morning, so I figured I'd kick it off right away. No waiting, no procrastinating, jumping into the stream. Good freaking morning, everyone. Hello. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are going to get background music flowing and going. We are going to get some information pulled up, and we have some breaking news. We're going to have to be a little bit creative this morning because TCG Player seems to have been down for some time. I've been getting nothing but a white screen and panicking and trying to pull sales data in. But in the meantime, it's time for me to chat with each and every one of you. Good freaking morning as I pop up and pull over the chat. This morning I was aggressively trying to get sales data and everything going, and man, oh man, it does seem like we won't be able to get that because TCG Player seems like it's down. So we're gonna we'll keep on the lookout. We'll be ready to go. But let me pop over and say hi to those in chat who have joined us this morning. Blaze, what has 5 toes that isn't your foot, my foot? What do you call a punchline that's apparent at dad joke? Blaze, if you don't start all of the Friday Morning Magic live streams from now on with incredible dad jokes like that, I will be disappointing. Rob, good freaking morning. Good morning, Rob. Let me know how the audio is on this last minute setup that we got going on. Good morning, MTG Captain. Good afternoon. No, I say good morning. You might say good afternoon, but I say good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is going to be a good one. I'm excited. We got to get chat going. For some reason, we don't have chat going on screen, and we normally do. So let's do this. Let's make sure. Oh, morning all. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Let's make sure we have chat going on screen. Crazy days. Good morning. Audio sounds good to you, Rob. Thank you. I have the old school, the OG, from the early days of the channel, hometown TCG coffee mug to kick this off. Ready? That's a good brew. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a fun morning. It is official. It is Wilds of Eldraine release day. Let's go. Wilds of Eldraine release day. If you haven't yet, make sure you vote in the poll. Make sure you like the stream. And if you want to support the channel above and beyond, make sure you click that mystery link up top. I think it's on this side over here about channel memberships. This is a great morning. We have official Wilds of Eldraine release to go over. We've got tons of stuff to talk about. Oh, it looks like TCG Player finally popped back. So if we want, and I'll leave this up to you guys, should I take a second and let's end the poll? I want to know from the people that are just filling in the morning, from the people that are just popping in, just getting here, should I still pull the sales data and take a second and have maybe a little bit of a scuffed stream while I focus on what I'm doing, just to have all the sales data, or should we talk about something else? All right, I've started the poll. If you're here, if you're joining, good morning, and make sure you vote in that poll so I know. Should I take the time to pull the sales data and have a little bit more of a bumpy start, and then we go from there? Or should we talk about something else, just enjoy the flow and hang out, and then we'll do a video about the sales data? I will do whatever it is you guys want to do because, frankly, this is our stream together. Like, this is our time. We have a blast every single Friday morning, and without you guys, none of this would be possible. So cheers. Captain Dingus, cheers. You got your caffeine ready to go. You love to see it. That's a delicious brew. So my mother is in town. My mom and my stepdad both in town. It is amazing to get a chance to see them after so long. They live out on the East Coast in the Virginia area, so it is just so great to be able to see them and hang out and spend some time with them, and they get to spend some time with my daughter and see her. So they're in town, and it has just been a fantastic morning. I gotta tell you, it's been a great morning. So make sure if you are here, we have a poll. TCG Player was down this morning. It was a little bit down. You know what I mean? So make sure you vote in the poll. Make sure you let us know what you want to do, what you want to interact, because TCG Player was down this morning and we couldn't pull the sales data. No! But I can take a couple minutes here to pull it if we like in the intermittent area. I don't know. I'm not a linguist. I just do my best on stream. But I want to hear from you. How was your guys' morning starting out? How's everyone's day going? What do you have planned for this weekend? Are you all in on Wilds of Eldraine release? Wilds of Eldraine official release day on this stream. It's you know what I need to do? I need to get one of those stream decks where I can air horn. Channel members, we're building the new stream setup, and with that, channel members are going to go to support the stream deck so we can hit the air horn button and go pew, 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 pew. There is so much to talk about. Devin, good morning. Let me know again how audio is sounding for each and every one of you out there in the world. Let's pop this over. Let's get ready to go. Let's pop this out. No, don't need that tab. Let's get, if TCG Player is up, I do have some good sales data. Good freaking morning. Let's pop some stuff up. Let's get going. Let's get ready to go. So I was spending time with my mom this morning. So we're running a little bit behind, but that's okay. That's okay. Oh, TCG Player still loading. Still a white screen. Let me show you guys here. Let's go ahead and pop over, and let me show you what I get when I navigate to the wonderful website that is TCG Player. Where's our... Where is it? Where is this? There we go. So this is what I get when I go to TCG Player. As you guys can see, the screen didn't change because it's just a white. It's a white screen with nothing on it. Like, it's not Wilds of Eldraine sales data. It's just a white screen with nothing on there. That's what TCG Player is giving me right now. So, come on, TCG Player. Just give me a white screen. So that's why I'm not stalling. I'm just wondering. Oh, hold on. It just popped back. Let's go. We can at least look at some prices and dig into some stuff. But I want to catch up with you guys in chat. Let me know. So crazy days. My parents live in NC, me in Michigan. See them about every 2 years. Oh, so hey, listen. You know when the parents are in town, you got to say hi. Devin, good morning, homies. Ralph, I planned for coffee too early for other plans. Let's go. Love to see it. Blaze, thanks for the audio. Thrifty PC, good morning, Ralph. TCG Players up here. Yoko, good morning. Hey. Good morning, everyone. Let's check Wilds of Eldraine prices on official release. Let's go ahead and let's dig into this. We will talk some Lord of the Rings because we don't have... TCG Player wasn't coming back all morning, so we don't have the full official sales data, and because of that, we will definitely talk some Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is going to be a spicy release. That's going to be a good one. But in the meantime, we've got some Wilds of Eldraine to talk about, and let's start with sealed product like we always do. We will dig into singles, but let's start with sealed product on official release day. Price high to low, and let's see what we're going on. The new Lord of the Rings card look expensive? Yeah, for sure. For sure. The poll, if you haven't voted yet, make sure you vote in the poll. The poll is still, I think it's 50-50. You guys have perfectly split the poll right down the middle. You absolute mad human beings. That is, what a wild world we live in. Let's move on from the cases and let's talk individual boxes, and we'll start the conversation with the product that I am most worried about. It's the product I am most worried about by far, and it's the collector booster box. Now, if you haven't caught any of the content this week, Rob said, is TCG Player blocking you? Do they realize you're friends with Louis? I think TCG Player, realistically, I think TCG Player, like if I was big enough for them to know about my channel, would not be a fan of my channel. Because they intentionally do not expose sales data via their API. No matter what kind of key you have, you can't get access to that sales data. So someone pulling, compiling, and constantly talking about that data is probably, I mean, it's not bad for business. Again, I'm such a small channel. It doesn't even hit their radar. But imagine this was a massive channel with hundreds of thousands of viewers. They'd probably be like, that's not great for us. Like, that's our proprietary information. We don't really want that out there. So if TCG Player is going to not like someone, I think it might be this guy. I think it might be me. Let's take a look at the Collector Booster Box. Collector Booster Box sitting at $198 a box. This is, from recent memory, and correct me in chat if I'm wrong. Josh Smith, good morning. What is up? Correct me if I'm wrong. This is the cheapest Collector Booster Box that a standard release has had on release since before Brothers War, since Dominaria United, I believe. Is that correct? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know what because I think this is the cheapest it has been, and I think for good reason. When we look at singles, remember this conversation when we flip over to look at singles. Nick, good morning. Hope everyone is well. I hope you are well too, my friend. But this makes sense to me, because we have said, and this has been a take on this channel with all of you, with me, with all of this community, that, hey, this doesn't make much sense without serialized cards. Like, we don't chase down these different foils, these different rarities, these alt art treatments that seem to be mass printed. It's not something we covet. Now, some of the singles we're going to see are holding a good value for now. We talk about that. We'll get into that, but it makes sense why this box is not the most expensive. But the box that is shining, still sitting at its pre-sale price of $117 to $118, fluctuating there, which is, for the set booster box, a totally fair price. A totally fair price. Like, this is a great booster box. I love the set booster. I love everything you get. Nick, oh my goodness, with the $5 dono, coffee on you, Nick. Thank you. Cheers. Good morning. Thank you so much. And Nick, if you wanted to spend that $5 differently, again, you could join channel memberships above just to get more for your money. I want to give you some exclusive content, but you are far too kind. I cannot believe you, Nick. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. And next week's coffee, let's remember this, everyone in chat, next week's coffee on Nick. Thank you so much. But this box, I think, is going to go a long way. This box right here, having the ability to pull all of your Enchanted Tales cards that are going to be massive hits from a fan perspective, right? Not necessarily from a financial value perspective, but from a fan perspective, people are going to want to put these cards in decks. Like, this box is going to go a long way. You couple that with the Lord of the Rings, or not the Lord of the Rings, the Walking Dead reprint that's coming in this box, the Walking Dead Secret Lair. Like, this is a wild box. I know the Walking Dead Secret Lair is going to be a limited pull. It's going to be really hard to come by, but it's still worth noting. Like, we like the chase. We are after chasing down some of these cards. So, Nick, I'm still flabbergasted by you, dude. Thank you so much. I'm sipping my coffee just thinking, oh my God, I'm flabbergasted. I'm amazed. Thank you. Let's get into chat. Abby said, I think even DMU started around 220 before we realized the Lost Legends were garbage. Abby, that definitely makes sense. That makes sense. TCG is very in touch compared to most ivory tower companies, and they are understanding and responsive. You don't feel like you're talking to a robot with them. TCG. Do you mean TCG Player? Yoko, do you mean TCG Player? And said, dude, I did a home seal with my wife last night. She bested me 2-1. Oh, no. That happens. Like, listen, that's still a massive win to be able to doing that with your family. So I like the set booster box. Have you guys, those of you in chat, if you have pre-ordered any kind of product, if you have got your hands on any of this, what did you buy? What are you liking? What did you try to get your hands on? I know I'm putting a set booster box on the shelf. I know that I'm going to enjoy it. I want to know what you guys are buying right now. Wilds of Eldraine is I don't know. I'm very excited about the set. This is another product that I think is going to do extremely well. Maybe not like every draft box in the short term, but maybe in the long term is the draft booster box, because you have the Enchanted Tales in every pack. Like, the Enchanted Tales in every pack is a big deal because it gives people the chance to get cards that are iconic, that they like. And most consumers aren't as tied to the secondary market as hardcore enthusiasts like you and I, right? We are tied to the secondary market. Most enthusiasts just are not. And the fact that this draft booster box is going off at 110, every pack has a chance at one of those, or has a pull and a chance at something really cool and really coveted. Like, this is massive. And yes, you can't get the spicy alt art crazy treatments, but we just talked about the collector box. Like, that doesn't move the product, in my opinion. I don't know. This is just a set that I could not see coming. And if we had sales data, and for the sales data that we do have, we'll kind of pull up a little bit here, and we'll see if we can't like zoom in and just get a little kind of preview of what we were going to talk about before we couldn't pull the data. This set is actually underselling. If you were on the channel memberships, you know I did a video for channel members comparing this to the last 3 standard set releases, and it's underselling all of those other sets, and I think it's actually going to be a more coveted and well-liked set. I really believe that we are going to prefer this set in the long run over the other products. I think it's something we are going to really want to get our hands on. So, yeah, the breakdown is pretty much what we expected. We talked about this on the channel this week. We talk about it now. The set boxes are the king here. Like, the set boxes are outselling everything. The collector box is abnormally low. Compared to some of the other products, the collector box is abnormally low when you compare it to Phyrexia All Will Be One, The Brothers War, March of the Machine. We're just not seeing the movement out of the collector box. And that's, you know, again, I'm not saying that, listen, all of us, I'm not saying we're always right over here, like all of us hanging out here. I'm not saying we're always right. I will heavily infer and I will, you know, insinuate that we are always right here with all of us hanging out on Friday Morning Magic. So if you're here, cheers. Cheers. You know what, Nick? This coffee's on you too. I'm still blown away. For a small, that's insane. That's insane, dude. That's wild. So this stuff is incredible. The sales data, the sales information is amazing. But when it comes to singles, we've got some spicy stuff to talk about. In a set where you have stuff like the Enchanted Tales, I think the really interesting conversation is the singles. Nick, did we just become best friends? Did we just become best friends? Nick says, I'm so tired, I'm chugging a Celsius. Did we just become best friends? Like, that's it. That's it. I get them from, if you go to Costco, you get them for like $1. Like this, we're going to talk about Magic singles in a second, but this is wildly important. If you get them from Costco, your dollar cost average on a can of Celsius is like $1.12. It's such a good price. Like, look at me. This is life advice. This is dad hacking. This is parent world. Black coffee and Celsius make you feel like the coolest, like, dad. You enter your full dad zone and dad bod with black coffee and Celsius, because the Celsius gives you your hipster dad. I'm cool. I'm hip. It's new. It's Red Bull for people that want to put their nose in the air. Yes. And if you get it from Costco, it's also cheap. And then you drink black coffee. When we drink black coffee, you're like, oh, I've entered my dad. Like, every dad drinks black coffee. All dads, right? You just look at dads and you're like, how do you drink black coffee? How is this possible? It's disgusting. And dads are like, oh, I love my morning cup of Joe. Like, you enter your full dad zone with those two things. It is the perfect mix in 2023. Don't even at me. That was not a rant about Magic singles, but I think it was important to the history of this channel and this stream. 3 cases of set really. Yoko's getting 3 cases of set, really more than 4 cases of collector from a workload standpoint. Okay. Yes, but from a workload standpoint, from owning a game store, yes. Nico, hey, hip and trendy. Nico is the homie, longtime friend. Love that guy. Love that man. And he knows I have entered my old man hip dad phase. And I say hip dad phase because after I try to play basketball in this phase, my hip hurts. Get it? See, I'm coffee and Celsius. You're talking about a type of game now. Like, listen, cheers. Cheers to CM Yoko. I drink a Bubble Bounce caffeinated sparkling water in the afternoon and black coffee. Yoko, you just get it, Abby. All right, I'm cracking a Celsius. The Celsius stream. Maybe this is the Celsius stream. My kids started calling me lame, so I might need to add Celsius. Devin, like, listen, I'm not. You've been doing this longer than I have, So you are the professional. I am telling you that this makes me feel very cool and trendy. I feel very hip carrying that. Ralph said, I think this year's a bit harder to gauge because of Lord of the Rings success. Blitz Standard Edition coming up in a couple of months. Yeah, Ixalan still come. So, Ralph, there's so much. That's a great take. There's so much to talk about there. We'll get into that. As Dad drinks black coffee in Celsius, I agree with this take. Listen, dads unite on the hip and trendy things. Let's talk about singles before I get too far down the dad rabbit hole here. Because, oh, and I've got grandma and grandpa in town. We might, like, go out tonight. Like, might leave kiddo with grandma and grandpa and be like, oh, see ya. Bye. Anyway, let's talk singles for Lord of the Rings. And not Lord of the Rings. I'm so used to saying Lord of the Rings. Let's talk singles for Wilds of Eldraine. And let's focus on the set. So we're going to focus on not Enchanting Tales, not Commander. We're going to focus on the set, on Wilds of Eldraine. Okay, so we're going to just focus on that for right now. And we do see Commander being the driving factor. Beseech the Mirror is a card that I think is just a wonderful design space. For those who haven't looked at this card, I implore you, go check this card out for Commander. It's just a really cool design space. I'm not making a comment on the price of the card. This is just a cool designed card for Commander players. I think this card is neat. I think you're going to see this all over the place. And more than that, it enables my favorite card, maybe of all time. It's on there. It enables Hatching Plans. When Hatching Plans put in a graveyard from play, draw 3 cards. Imagine, you tutor up a spell, you sack this, you cast that spell, and you draw 3 cards. Oh! What? If that's not value, if that isn't value, I don't know what is. Don't get me started on Hatching Plans and Oratog and Reality Acid. Like, oh my god, Beseech the Mirror with Reality Acid, destroy a permanent your opponent controls, and cast a spell. Like, oh my goodness. Anyway, Beseech the Mirror is cool. We have White Crater Hoof is always going to be a card that I think people want. I don't think it'll covet the same price point. We live in a different era. I don't think we're going to see that. But this card will always play in Commander. But it's important to note, right? Like, these two cards being above $20 and this card being around $20, albeit for the extended special baller edition, and they're coming out of the standard set, is important. It's important. This was 100% something you need to do and something you need to keep track of. The fact that regular cards in the set can hold some value outside of that Enchanting Tales slot. The problem here is now we have the great fall off, the great plummeting, the great slide, if you will, into the $5 to $6 range. And this is why something like the set booster box in this product goes so long. Because when you open that collector pack and you pay the money that you pay for the collector booster pack, you feel some type of way about pulling $5, $6, $7 cards. And mind you, this is official release day, or I think pre-release day technically, which is Game Store official release day, but also kind of not. Like, listen, Magic's weird. It's in a weird spot with their releases. I'll be the first to say it. But this does not feel as good to open, and these prices are probably going to trend down from the collector booster pack. However, the set booster pack, you open $3 or $4 or $5 cards, like, you're in a great mood. Like, that's amazing. Like, you're super happy about that, and you get 36 shots at it or whatever it is. Like, this is a win, and Magic does this price point extremely well. Now, again, they are going to struggle with the number of variants because, I mean, like here, like you see the same card repeated over. Your casual players are going to have trouble tracking some of that. But for players like us, like listen, if you're still complaining about the number of variants in Magic, like, this is the way it is, and it's the way it has been, and it's not changing soon. I know we'll talk about the Rudy take in a second, but like it's not going away. Like, this is just the way it is right now. So I love the value being held here. I do believe this is why we're going to see so much success in the set booster box. Everything you're seeing here is what we're going to see so much success with the set booster box, and why that's going to be a product that not only feels good to buy, but feels good to open and feels good to go back to and live in this set booster box world. And again, these $5 to $6 cards and $7, $8, some of them, when you look at market price being $14, $10, etc., this is why we get a struggle with the collector box, because emotionally, like, we have to admit there's an emotional aspect and a fun aspect to opening packs, and it doesn't feel the same to open. You get a collector booster box, and the previous sets you have a chance at $100 card with some serialized card or some crazy chase nonsense, and this, most of the time from the regular set you're chasing down $20, $30 cards. Now that goes outside and does not consider the Enchanting Tales. Wilds of Eldraine, Enchanting Tales. Let's take a look at some of the Enchanting Tales, and I believe the anime art and everything should be on here, and this is where things get interesting, or some might say this is where it gets wild. Dad joke. We have Enchanting Tales pulled up here, and I, for one, was blown away when I saw this card. Rhystic Study. Everyone talks about when this set released. The conversation of the community was all about doubling season. It was doubling season this, doubling season that, doubling season this, doubling season that. Rhystic Study getting a reprint in several different arts and being pullable out of a draft booster box. The Enchanting Tales slot being pulled out of a draft, but that's right, you can go to a draft booster box and pull a Rhystic Study right now. Like, is that landing with everybody? Is that landing with you? Like, we're aware that we can do this. That's wild. That's an insane thing to say into a microphone. And that's going to be just a crazy win. You can pull a Parallel Lives out of a draft booster pack. Like, some of this art is incredible. The issue becomes with the fact that the super ultra rare chase hard to get stuff is the confetti foil. And those confetti foils, again, historically have not been something that we covet very high. Now, the exception here is going to be Goose Hydra. And the reason is Goose Hydra. That's all I'm saying. Who doesn't want this card? Who doesn't want Goose Hydra? If you don't want Goose Hydra, if Goose Hydra doesn't at least make you smile a little bit, just tiny whiny little bit, what are you doing? Find some joy. This thing makes me smile. It makes me laugh. MTG Gaming Bob, good morning. Yoko, hatching plans is okay, but no curiosity. Listen, back off hatching plans. Boiler Lorcana is super difficult to get. I tried Gen Con, took but release days off work, stayed up till 3:30 a.m., got 8 in the morning, hit 6 Walmart yesterday. Very little luck. We can talk about Lorcana. I have a video coming out. I don't want to tick people off. Like, this is still a Magic channel. Lorcana is just a lot of in the news right now. And the stats for people playing Lorcana are mind-blowing. They literally almost knocked me over when I read the stats. Got 4 Mystical Archive type cards and 1 lucky set booster. Most give you 2. Holy moly, Yoko. That's incredible. Look at Greater. Yoko wants to look at Greater Oromancy. Let's see if we can find it. That is a really good looking card. God, what a 2-drop. What a 2-drop. Like, this card getting a reprint is wild. Let's see. Like, there's only 2 of them been sold up to this point. So either... Oh, hold on. I shouldn't have gone away from... How many listings are there? So there's 64 listings. So there's like a fair number of listings. Only 2 sold up to this point. So, but again, we are in technically a pre-release. I know. But like game stores and like, I don't know. Magic release or we're looking at Smothering Tide, but you catch my drift. This is the 90th Smothering Tide that we've gotten in. Oh, this is Smothering Tide again. Where's the Greater Oromancy? Where'd they go? Oh. I was like, I had that. Look at that. Look at this morning. Look at this popping off. So that was Smothering Tide sales we were looking at. That's what was going on. Okay. I got all twisted. Listen. I had my Celsius this morning. MTG Gaming Service trying to stream jump. Today is just release day for Lorcana. I'm a big fan of the anime art. And wow, I'm not sure if I will be buying any. No, you're not, dude. Bob, you're great. You are 100% great. I was saying I don't want people to think that this isn't a Magic channel anymore, because I am making Lorcana videos here and there because the news is super interesting, and my family and my wife is like interested. So I have like it's a wonderful chance to like share my love and my passion for trading card games and stuff with the people I care about. You weren't taking over anything. You're great. Blaze says Goose Hydra is always the answer. Blaze, you win. Yogi said my wife melted when she saw the Bumble Sheep card. Yes. Yes. I'm curious how bad the anime waifu tax is going to be on some of these. That is a real thing. That is a legitimate concern. Let's get back to our roots, though, and let's talk some of these cards that we see in here. I really think that this set is going to go a long way. There's a land tax in here, a Bitter Blossom, which I know that Bitter Blossom still sees play, especially Commander and things like that, but man, it has fallen from grace from where Bitter Blossom was. Back in my day, Magic Boomer and played Bitter Blossom. This card was gas. Like, this card was gas. It's still super fun. And the art, like, again, they did a good job with some of this anime art. I know, and shout out to the podcast. What is it? MTG Goldfish does a podcast, and there was a take on there, and they were talking about, and I forget who it was, and I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth. They were talking about how some of the art seems to have nailed it, and some of the art for the anime cards was just like off. It was like they just slapped anime on a card and said it didn't really have anything to do with like the card name or the card theme. But some of this stuff, it does feel really good. Oh, what is this? I don't want to import files. Or import my favorites. All right, Polluted Bonds, Repercussion. The value of these these are the cards that I would expect to see go down in value the most. With them being readily available in all these different sets and all these different products, I really expect to see a pretty decent drop in value across most of these Enchanting Tales cards. And I think we're going to look at something like Strixhaven Mystic Archive, right? Right, if we look at let's see. Strixhaven, let's look at the Mystical Archives, because I think this will be a good and fair comparison. Ralph the Gnome says it's hometown TCG, not hometown MTG. Really, but most people have talked about Lorcana in one way or another, either about the product, opening product similarities, early MTG, or impact on MTG. Listen, totally. And I just don't want to, again, this is the fight with a smaller channel. You don't want to scare people away and be like, oh, I just subbed to an MTG channel, and they don't even talk about MTG. Like, no, MTG is the game that I will talk about the most, but it is worth talking about games like that make a massive impact. And if you don't know, you can find me on a podcast every week over on Kitchen Table TCG called the May the Zoo Be With You podcast. It's a Magic the Gathering podcast, but we also talk about some indie TCGs, and also the topic of what is an indie TCG comes up. Oh, that's a big fight. I love those guys. So Mystic Archives, I think, is something we can look to compare some of this stuff to. And those of us remember, and there won't be any sales logged, but let's go back to the 1 year. Even if we could go back further, we would. This card was extremely expensive. Let's see if we can just find, this is the foil etched one. Let's see if we can just find the foil one, not the foil etched. So the foil price here at $236 has come down from, the 300s into the 230s. And this card on release, I think, was like $400 to $500. $400 to $500 for this card was crazy. And there will always be, when you have these archival sets and these little subsets with crazy treatments, there'll probably always be one or two really big chases. But the real conversation is the rest of it, right? It's the tainted pack down to $9 in its regular version. Or sorry, these are the foil etched ones. But like, you can get a Teferi's Protection now for $25, right? And which is a completely fair thing. I'm not fudding anything. I'm not saying anything negative on any of that. But when they mass print this stuff, the fact that like this alternate art crazy looking Brainstorm is only $7, it does seem to devalue some of these cards as they come out, and that's most of people's problem with something like this. For me, I don't have a problem with this, and it stems from, and if we go back to the Enchanting Tales, my lack of problem. Oh, hold on, I can't talk and type. I can't talk and type. My problem with this comes back to something like Blood Moon, and I struggle with Blood Moon because Blood Moon and Confetti Foil, like, beautiful card. Beautiful card. I don't like the Confetti Foil. That's a bad take. The Confetti Foil is not a beautiful card, but like the regular art of this is just beautiful. It's great art. But like, if I'm going to spend this amount of money, if I'm spending $78 on a Blood Moon, and this is just me, maybe I'm wrong, I'm buying an old school Blood Moon. If I'm spending $78, I can get a Blood Moon from the dark for $41 or, market price $78. Like, there's no chance. there's no chance I buy that new Blood Moon and don't buy, like, a lightly played Blood Moon from the Dark. And that's the way I feel about it. So I think cards like that are going to be tough in a set like this. I'm not saying they'll do poorly. I'm not saying they're a bad idea. I'm not saying it's bad to have them. But like, it's $78. You're already at half price of just getting an Invocation Blood Moon. It's some of these things, the yin and the yang don't mix and don't match. And again, that's just my opinion. But that's where I struggle with some of these, and that's why I see some of these, again, in the collector booster box, not doing as well as I would have previously liked. But some of the stuff, Necropotence is another one. Necropotence, I felt was already getting pretty cheap. I felt like the regular copy of Necro was pretty cheap, and to see this out there kind of confirms that, because, like, listen, we're not exactly chasing this one down the Confetti Foil. Confetti Foil 1 or 2 are selling, and we're seeing something very similar to what we saw with Commander Masters, right? Commander Masters, the crazy high-end, etched, chased, textured, had 1 or 2 sell on the secondary market, but then, I mean, that's kind of where that stopped. In fact, let's just look up. Let's pull all the Confetti Foil cards into a search, and let's take a look. Well, you guys are saying, Ralph says, buy the OG, it's the FOMO hype, they'll always be released, they'll drop for sure. Yeah, but I also don't want to be like, they're going to drop to nothing. Like, no, these cards are cool. They will have a fan base that enjoy them. That 100% will happen. The fight over the definition of indie TCG was legendary. Abby McDaniels, a fine, refined human being, viewer of the May the Zoo Be With You podcast, I can see. Freestyle SDL. Freestyle, first time we've seen you in the stream this morning. Good morning. Hope your week went well, and I hope your Friday is going even better. A lot of Enchanted Tales are already at $1 or less. We'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at the bottom end, too, after this. That's a good. Mr. Chop. Most of these cards should drop quite a bit unless they are difficult to pull. Great for players, bad for anyone buying now or hoping to collect and hold these for value. The Magic has changed how you have to hold things for value. This might be worth a conversation on the channel, but the things that you buy or collect or hold for value and not for just like, oh, I enjoy this, has changed, and Magic has given us very clear signals as to what those should be, in my opinion. So I don't think nothing but the pre-release price is already somewhat crazy. Yeah, 100%. Look at the Commander Masters Lotus. You are 100% correct. So these are all of the Confetti Foils. These are the Chase Baller versions of cards that we've pulled into a search here. And it's important to note that As Foretold is your cheapest Confetti Foil. Market price unavailable, probably because, like, these are not, we're still super early. These are still unknown and unheard of. And, like, I don't know. As Foretold, it's not a bad card, but it doesn't hit the same as some of the other ones. Let's just put it that way. It doesn't hit the same. To see land tax down on this bottom row is mind-boggling. There was times where land tax was like, I got to get my hands on some land tax. I got to get this, and it's just not the case anymore. It's like, I got to close some of these old windows. Some of these old windows got to go. Kinetic Justice. But yeah, the Confetti Foils, like, this is a thing where it does feel good to open these out of a booster box, right? It feels good to open these cards out of a booster box, give them a chance, put them in your binder, and you feel like you get a little bit of value. Now, the fact that they're Confetti Foils and they're coming out of what I deem to be not the most popular product, and the sales data seems to agree with me about the collector booster box, we're in an interesting time, let's put it that way. So I want to take a second and respond to all of you guys, get some coffee, and then just see how you guys are feeling about Wilds of Eldraine, because that's what this is for. This is not just my takes. This is our takes. I want to know what you guys are thinking about Wilds of Eldraine, and cheers to each and every one of you out there for joining the stream this morning, making my Friday morning incredible, and hopefully kicking yours off in the right way as well. If you haven't yet, make sure you check that pinned link if you want to support us over here. I think if you want to support the channel further, you can join the channel memberships. We're up to double-digit members in the channel membership. That's right. You get exclusive content, access to custom emotes, and channel badges, all for only $5 a month, and it all goes to support the channel, and it buys me a coffee every now and again, because having this much energy, man, this early in the morning as a dad, it gets tough. Mr. DJ Longhair says, good morning, hometown. Hi, Ralph. Good freaking morning. Good morning. Thrifty PS Gamer Reviews. Have a great day. I hope you have a great day. Thrifty, always stopping by the stream, always hanging out. Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome. Taffy says, only card I want is Doubling Season when the price comes down. The Doubling Season is an interesting kind of case study, because that has been the poster child for Wilds of Eldraine, right? Let's go Doubling Season in Magic the Gathering. Let's just take a look at the optional and available Doubling Seasons to people looking to buy cards. Let's take a look at some of this information. So here are your Doubling Seasons that you get to choose from. If you want a Doubling Season, you're going to go to one of these bad boys right here. And it's important to note, this is sorted by price, high to low. The bottom, the very last card, is the one that was printed in the most recent set. Obviously, this makes sense, but to see Doubling Season be this affordable it's pretty insane. Oh, we have two. What is this? We have. All right, we have two things shown. Now we got one. So the Doubling Season down here makes sense. It makes sense that it's the cheapest, but we do have and this is where Magic does, in my opinion, a pretty good job. You have an opportunity to buy an expensive baller Doubling Season if you want one. This doesn't include the confetti foil. This doesn't include the anime art. This is just the regular Doubling Season in Magic the Gathering. But you can get a baller Doubling Season, and if we want, if we get rid of the Magic the Gathering tag and just go, if we just go Doubling Season, we should get them all and price them high to low. You have a litany of options, and this is good, in my opinion, for things like Commander. This goes a long way, because if you're a Commander player that just wants to buy a Doubling Season just to play Doubling Season, it's going to be a little more expensive because it's a good card. And spoiler alert, this is one of my biggest rubs on this whole topic. Spoiler alert, good cards cost more money. That's how this works. It's how it always has worked. Coveted cards that people play because more people buy them, and they are less readily available, cost more money. This is just a fact. Doubling Season, you can get one for $33, or if you're a player that's like, I got the blinged Commander deck, this is my jam, I'm always going for this, well, you can buy a very special Doubling Season, and you have your pick of the litter. And this is the I guess, pattern that Magic is going to. You want an expensive card, there's an option, and if you want a cheap playable card, there's an option for that too, and I think that's what they're going for. Blaze says, gotta go. You packets have a great day and a better weekend. Blaze, big cheers, huge shout out. Thank you for joining the stream this morning. Mr. DJ Longhair said, Dino Baby Doubling Season for the win. Dino Baby Doubling Season. Fantastic art. So cute. Just adorable. Yes, these things are going to grow up large and want to eat my face, but for right now, these things are adorable. This is amazing. This is adorable. Rob says, the back-to-back reprints of Doubling Season will be interesting to see the price in a couple months. Now, that was the big concern. And again, we're spending so much time on Doubling Season because it's a microcosm for the reprint equity and how Magic the Gathering, how Wizards of the Coast is choosing to go about stuff like this. The weird part is the timing. You can tell that there's a little bit of the process they're working through when it comes to designing and releasing sets. Because I know that when you give a set to a team, you're like, hey, you have to design this many unique cards, and you have to put this many reprints in there and stuff like that. You can tell there might be some inter-team communication mishaps going on there, or nobody approving those lists with a fine-tooth comb, because having Doubling Season back-to-back in a crazy product that you're trying to convince me to spend $350 on the bastardization of the set box for, and then throwing it in a $100 booster box immediately after, feels like a weird space. That 100% feels like we are in a very unique and weird design space. So I get by that statement 100%. That's a weird one. Yoko said, I had 3 proxies of Doubling Season on a blank card for free, drew a badass picture too. Yeah. I've always been the same way. If your play group plays proxies, good job. Go for it. Matthias said, good morning. Between Doubling Season and Great Henge, reprints is the way to go. Matthias, good morning. Yes. And I listen, it seems to be working, right? Who am I to complain about results? Abby says, Ristic Studies kind of back-to-back reprinted too, as in Jumpstart 2022. I agree, but Jumpstart's a weird one, right? I don't think as many people engage with Jumpstart as they do with just a standard box or product. So in my opinion, it probably doesn't get opened enough, and the sales data from TCG Player back when we used to track Jumpstart was significantly less than almost any other box. So maybe it just wasn't opened enough to matter. That doesn't mean it's not in circulation in print and sitting on shelves in sealed packs, but it just might not have been opened enough to be to matter. Rob said, "Will it still be a hit in remastered?" Probably. Like, listen. Spoiler alert, good commander cards are good. Good commander cards are good. That's what we've learned on this channel, and I can kick and scream and complain, and I'm about to go on a rant. If you want to hear me rant about Commander, I have a Commander rant with Wilds of Eldraine, and it's been stored up in my bones, and it is ready to go. If you want to hear that, let me know in the chat. I'm pretty fiery about this one, but I don't know. The Commander cards that are good cards are going to cost money, and they're going to be coveted, and people are going to want them, even when they're reprinted. So, oh my goodness. Yoga said, "I only bring proxies if I already had the card, got unlocked my collection before I deserve to play it." I like it. The Hearthstone take. I like it. While you guys decide in the Commander rant, let me tell you that my thoughts on Lorcana as an entry to Magic the Gathering have never been higher. Like, just introducing a whole new generation and a whole new group of people that would have never touched a trading card ever to the idea of collecting and playing cards and sleeving and opening packs, like all of these things that is like normal for us. Introducing that to a whole new generation of human beings is so big. It's so massive. And you couple that with the fact that all it does, and people don't take this out of context. Nobody is going to go Lorcana to Magic. Like, you're not gonna be like, I play Lorcana and then wake up one morning and be like, I play Commander now. Like, that is not going to happen. What's going to do is you're going to play Lorcana for a couple years, and you're going to be like, I'm too old for this Disney stuff. I'm too old for trading card games or for kids. And then you're going to be sitting somewhere and you're like, man, trading card games were fun. And what are they playing? What are you playing? Oh, that's Magic? I'm a little older now. I don't have to go through the rub of not knowing what a trading card game is. I'm familiar with a deck. I'm familiar with drawing. I'm familiar with the social interaction. I'm familiar with pack opening and deck building and collecting and binders. Like, I don't have that barrier anymore. This seems easy. Oh, you mean all I have to do is buy a pack and get started again? I'm in. That's how it's a gateway entry. Everyone says, it's not a gateway entry. Disney fans are just going to quit Disney and play Magic. It's not. What it does is it breaks down barriers for entry into trading card games. It removes you hit high school and you want to try a trading card game. It removes that fear, the fear of the unknown. You're now in a familiar space before. You're in somewhere that you have been before. You feel comfortable. You're ready to go. So that's, in my opinion, how it's the gateway. It's not just like a to B to C to now I have a giant serialized card collection. Like, that's not how that'll work. But Rob says, bring on the Commander rant. Rob, it seems like you might be the only one that wants it, so maybe it'll have to go to a video. Maybe we'll see. The problem with MTG for these new MTG collectors is that MTG is not set collector friendly, too many variants. But Tyus, yes, Magic is a tough place to be a set collector. It may be the worst. It's so difficult to be a set collector. But a subset collector, if you're like, I want to collect all the confetti foils, I want to collect all the serialized cards from the set. Now, again, mind you, different financial values and kind of where different people are at stations in life are going to be, they're going to affect that. But I really do believe that Magic is becoming collectible again. It's building its collectability. It's coming back around on the idea that something can be collectible. But it does struggle with trying to get people to collect every card in a set. Abby Potatoes is down for a good rant. Listen, you guys are stream OGs. You guys are here every week, and you know what? Because you asked, I'm going to give it to you. There's the cards we just looked at. Let's take a look here. The Wilds of Eldraine, the Enchanting Tales. Let's just pull these up here. The Enchanting Tales series. Like, make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. This is for Commander. Like, they're not playable in Standard. They don't become Pioneer legal. None of that. This is for Commander players, and that's fine. The biggest hit that subsets like this, subsets like the Mystic Archive, are going to, the biggest hit that's going to happen because of subsets like that is Commander, and here's how. Not just because the cards are only playable in Commander, it goes deeper than that. What has Commander monopolized and staked their claim in? And all of you Commander players out there say, this is ours, we do this. It's the power level discussion. I have a 2 deck, I have a 5 deck, I have a 6 deck. Regular players, 60 card one-on-one, whether it was type 1.5, type 2, type 1, standard, pioneer, modern, whatever it is, we have those same discussions. We have those, we talk about tiers of deck. We play less powerful decks against more powerful decks. That is not just your discussion, but with all of these cards, with Rhystic Study being readily available, with Doubling Season tanking in price, do you know what's going to appear in more blue decks, in more green decks? Rhystic Study and Doubling Season. What does that do to those decks? Well, it inches the power level forward just a little bit. Just pushes it just a little bit. It moves that power level forward when we get subset reprint cards like this. We get the Mystical Archives. We get Enchanting Tales. I think Brothers War, the Serialized Artifacts, and the Artifact series try to do something similar. When we get more cards like this, powerful Commander cards become more readily available. And the whole Commander community sits back and goes, yes! Yes! Commander cards are cheaper. They're more readily available. We are all in. We want our cheap cards. Well, guess what that does? Now the person across from you, instead of playing casual fun Commander, you're more likely to get asked, do you pay the 1? Do you pay the 1? These powerful cards start to creep in Commander, and that just nudges the power level forward ever so slightly. And you will find this about Communities, Commander players. You are about to find out. You're going to learn today that Commander is all about fun and games, and it's not about winning, and that's all fine until someone can and has access to powerful cards to put in their deck. Because, spoiler alert, we want to play powerful cards. We are TCG enthusiasts. We love, and that is not to fault anyone. But what this is going to do is going to creep that power level up. And as it creeps up, regular Commander is going to inch to a higher and higher and higher power level. And as you do that, it's going to inch closer and closer. It'll never be the same. It'll never butt up against, but it'll always be closer to CEDH, closer. And when that starts to happen, people are going to be Commanders. I'm calling it right now. I don't think this is a correct take. I'm saying this is what people are going to do. They're going to say, this is not the Commander I remember. We didn't used to play all the powerful cards. We played for fun. I played my theme deck and it was fun. Yes, but that's what's going to happen. So there's going to be strife, struggle, and turbulence in that community if we get many more sets like this. Because as that power level inches up, the game starts to feel different. And the reason that some of these people went away from all these other formats because of the power level and the interaction, the number of things you have to track, and that casual experience has a chance to degrade. I don't think it will. I like it. Listen, it's up to the pod to continue to maintain that environment, but this power level is coming up, and with that power level coming up comes the temptation to do some mean and nasty things at the casual Commander table, and those mean and nasty things they're gonna cause some feels bad and some breakups of pods. I think it's super wild and super interesting to see how this pans out over the next couple of years, how Commander changes, because Wizards has moved us in the direction of like, don't build powerful Commanders, don't do all this, just try a new Commander, have 42 different decks, and I love that. But it's different when every time you build a blue deck, it can contain Rhystic Study, because it's readily available, because you opened one in a new set, because it's $20, it's $18, it's $16 on the secondary market. These are going to be some wild and fun times for Commander players. I think it's going to be a wild and fun time for the Commander community, but I do think things are going to change just a little bit. Not for the worse, not for the better. It's just going to be a change, and I think that's going to be insane. Rob says, I 100% agree, preach. Yoko says, if that's such a bad thing. No, it's not a bad thing at all. That's just what I feel about the change of the product. But still, a Mana Crypt or bust for power level 6+ now, it seems. Maybe. Until Mana Crypt is available in a subset, a Mystic Archives Enchanted Tales serialized artifact subset, and it's readily available. Like, that, can you imagine that day? What a wild day. I can't believe I just said that into a microphone. Let's go. But they start making formats within Commander. Yoko says, I could believe it. Mr. Dr. Longhair says, not to mention needing the dual lands to even look at CDH. Yeah, again, we're always creeping towards never achieving. Think log, right? Abby says, Pauper EDH is the new casual commander. Pauper's got some powerful cards, especially when you have access to like everything ever printed in Magic. I see what you're saying, but it's, yeah. It's one of the most feel-bad things when one of the group members starts with an arraignment or an armament race. It gets awkward really quick. Yeah, it changes the vibe at the commander table. It 100% changes the vibe. Guys, this has been so much. This has been such a fun stream. I love these streams, guys. Thank you so much again just for hanging out and sharing your thoughts. What a great way to start my Friday morning. I'm sorry that TCG Player was down earlier, so we couldn't really compile all the sales data that I wanted. I will do a video. I'll try to get that out either this weekend or Monday to make sure that you have access to it and that everyone has access to that. That will be a public video. If you want Wilds of Eldraine sales data earlier this week compared to all of the other standard sets, see how Wilds is selling, see how people are buying Wilds compared to Phyrexia All Will Be One, Brothers War, March of the Machine. Make sure you at least click that channel membership button and give it a thought. It's $5 a month. You get access to all of that exclusive content, at least one video a week, all of my posts, things like that. And again, all of it helps support the channel. It buys me coffee, and we're at double-digit channel members at this point. We are growing quicker than I could have hoped. So thank you so much. This has just been, wow, what a good time. You guys think I'll ever be able to quit my job and do this full time? Do you guys think that'll ever happen? I don't. I think my wife would kill me. I think she would legitimately beat me up. And she could. She is a very strong woman. Whew. Still, Commander's cool. Try different tribes for different vibes. Different tribes for different vibes. I like that. I like that saying. That's a good one for the stream. I like that one. Taffy Coin says playing casual Commander against someone with Infect. It wasn't casual when I one-shot killed them with their own creature. I'm new and didn't notice doing Listen, Taffy Coin's blowing up their entire Commander table as a new player is the content I'm here for. Cheers, Taffy. I have every pre-con Commander still sleeved and ready to play. I just like to pick up 4 with my friends and play them unaltered. I have a bunch of those sitting around here. I think I have one on the very top shelf up here. I have one. I think I have one down here. Here, let's see. Let's see what this is. Before we let you guys go. Let's see. What is the Commander deck that I have sleeved and sitting on my shelf randomly? It's in an Ultra Pro deck box. Oh, it hasn't been opened in a minute. Oh, okay. I have Jarina. Ralph the Gnome, welcome to the channel memberships. Ralph, enjoy the content. Thank you for supporting. Thank you so freaking much, Ralph. Good luck, enjoy, and then on the post, if you want content, if you have thoughts of things that you want to hear and talk about, let me know in a members post, and I will do my best to get to all of them. Welcome to the channel membership as a regular TCG enthusiast, like the rest of us out here. This is the Commander deck I have sleeved up. I forget what series this was, what series pre-con this was from, but I think this is the equipment. I believe this is, yep. Yeah, it's got Nahiri the Harbinger in it. I want to do that with 40. I want to do the 40K in Lord of the Rings. Dr. Longhair, that is a 100% great place to like have pre-sleeve pods. I think Commander Masters pre-cons will age really well as just like decks that you put in pods. So, Dr. Longhair says C20 Ikori. Yes. I'm such a sucker for the Walmart mystery Commander. Those are fun. I know much bigger content creator than I am, but Joey Moss, Bad Boy Gaming, I think buys a bunch of those and puts them out there. That's always a fun time. Yokeson, they released the first Commander set. I was already all in. I love the randomness, draft consistent decks with Precon. Plus 100 card decks just increase the randomness. Mario Party, like, yeah, it's fun. My first Commander deck, and I've told this story on stream, and then I'll let you guys all go because it's like, listen, I can't dominate your whole morning, but the Commander precons that were not around when it was, Commander had first started, but what was around was the take all the good stuff in your binder, take a legendary creature, and just make a deck. And mine was Chromat. Mine was just all the most valuable cards in my deck in a pile, and Chromat as my general. It was called a general. It was so much fun. Oh, okay, so we got I didn't realize the alerts. The alerts have been late. Oh, no! No, the alerts were late. I'm so sorry. Nick, thank you. The alerts were late. Ralph, your alert is going to be late. It's probably going to happen after the stream. Oh, sorry. I don't know why the stream alerts were so late. Ugh. There it is. Ralph, let's go. Welcome. Is there any Mox Alpha? Oh, you know what? I'm sold. Mystical wants me to look at Mox Alpha, and you guys know I will look at Mox Alpha any chance that I get. Oh, hold on. Let's make sure. Oh, hold on. Whoa. Oh, who's that? Who's that cool guy? Look at that. I will look at Mox Alpha any chance I get. All right, let's take a look. I can't imagine there will be. If so, it's going to be I guess rough. It's going to be rough because all the prices are going to be overly inflated. I was trying to find the right word. What is this? Your current plan inactive. Don't get left behind. Unlock unlimited access by upgrading to Mox Alpha Pro. I don't know what this does. You guys want to find out what Mox Alpha Pro does together? What's Mox Alpha Pro do? Monetize me? Whoa! This is for game stores to use. I'm not a game store. I won't be upgraded to Mox Alpha Pro. I'm not a game store. I don't have a TCG player account. This is just data for analysis for me. No, that's... You know how they say certain things aren't for you? That one right there. Mr. DJ Longhair, this is a really cool tool. Game stores are using it. I think RNG Games is a really awesome YouTube content creator, and he's featured on the Mox Alpha page as well. He probably could attest to what game stores can use this for when it comes to like expected value EV and purchasing boxes and opening them at a large scale. So I think this provides a lot of value, Mr. DJ Longhair. I think it provides a lot of value for not just like me as a person to do that. Oh, so maybe this has changed. I'll have to look at this in my free time. There's a chance this has changed. There's a chance it's changed now, and if it's changed, I will find another place to get I will get my data somewhere else. I'll have to email them and see. I didn't notice that there was going to be a change. I'll get to the bottom of that. But guys, this has been so freaking cool. Hold on, Ralph, can you look at this one more time? Can we, as a chat, can we talk about the fact that I use the Revenge of the Nerds icon for channel members and donos because I think that's a super niche and fun thing that will always be funny. I think that will always be funny, and like they're all different. This is nerds. I think it will. Oh, this will literally always be funny. But let's see what the subscribe one was. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm done playing with the notifications. This was just a lot of fun for me. So there's good software to do market stuff for. So is there a good software to do market stuff for tribes? Most other software is too complicated. I don't know, Mr. DJ. Tell me what you mean by market stuff. But before I let you go, I don't want to leave your question unanswered. Tell me what you mean by market stuff for tribes. But while you type that in chat, guys, just a blessing every Friday morning. Such a fun way to start my Friday. I appreciate each and every one of you out there. I hope you all have an incredible weekend. I hope you have a great time. If you get out to your Friday Night Magic, if you have some magic time this weekend to jam some games, enjoy yourself. Remember, it's more than just Commander. Although the Commander, I'm coming around. It is a lot of fun. Thank you so much for hanging out. Until next time, you guys know me. My name is Josh. Mr. DJ Longhair, leave that question. Kind of elaborate on yourself. I'll try to make sure I get to you before it goes away. And also, you can email me at hometowntcg@gmail.com if you have any questions, because I don't want to leave anyone hanging. That would be unfair. fair. That would be unfair. So thank you so much for hanging out. I will talk to you soon, Mr. DJ. Right on the outro. You caught me right at the outro. I want to cover, this is my style of play, so I see what's up with elves. I had to do so much stuff to look up. I would use something like Moxfield. I would look something like Moxfield, because then you can filter by elves. Moxfield or Scryfall. So here you go. I'll leave this in chat. Take a look there. Take a look at Scryfall. You can search by elves and things like that. But all right, thank you so very much. We will talk to you all soon. Have a great weekend, everyone. Goodbye.